Are you wanting to learn more about the Wild Woman archetype? I guarantee this is going to blow your mind because it is not what you think it is. In this video today, we are going to look at 8 traits of the Wild Woman and how you can start recognizing that Wild Woman in yourself and in other people. For the best information out there on whole life wellness, abundance, and living a life full of wild joy, make sure you hit the subscribe button below to be notified when a video goes live. Hey loves, I'm Dawn Perez. I'm from Wild Simple Joy. I'm a certified nutrition coach and certified life coach. And even though my certifications are new, I've been helping people on their nutrition and life goals for about 10 years. My recent life journey has kind of taken me into the gritty underworld of what it means to be a woman in today's society, and today I'm going to share a little bit of that with you. What is a wild woman? When we think of the term wild woman, images pop into our heads of someone with a bag slung over her shoulder and maybe a guitar, surfboard, long unkempt hair, hitchhiking her way on her next great adventure. But that's not really what a wild woman is. A wild woman is actually so much more versatile and common than we think. The truth is, everyone can bring out their own inner wild woman. Trait number 1, wild woman is curious. Curiosity has kind of gotten a bad rap from the white Christian patriarchy. But for generations, centuries, even millennia, a woman's natural curiosity was seen as something wise and necessary. It was embraced as a powerful tool to help societies discover new things, succeed, and even stay safe. The modern wild woman is someone who asks questions unabashedly and has that curiosity in their own life. She pursues knowledge and enlightenment and finds new ways of creative expression in her life. Trait number 2, the wild woman is wary of social conditioning. Let's face it, there are so many subliminal messages out there, and some of them are not so subliminal, about how we should behave, how we should dress, what we should weigh, how we should treat men, how we should treat other women, and how to make ourselves small. But the wild woman actively fights that social conditioning and learns about her own power. One of the most wonderful wild women that I have ever had the pleasure of learning from is Kasia Urbaniak, and she is from the Academy. She teaches women to recognize their good girl conditioning and break free. She wants to teach women how to step into their power. If you haven't heard of her before, you can check her out. I put a link in the description below. Trait number 3, wild woman has a pure sense of belonging. Wild woman knows who she is, and she knows who she isn't. Therefore, she knows who her tribe is. She knows the people that she belongs with, that she fits with, and she's not afraid to step away from the people who don't fit within her life. She's not afraid of breakups or divorce or estrangement. If a wild woman accepts you in her life, you should be so grateful because she knows that you are a part of her tribe and she doesn't accept just anyone. Trait number 4, wild woman loves her body. You won't hear this woman put down her own body or put down the bodies of other women. Whether she's a body positivity activist or she just doesn't talk about body insecurities, you know that this woman is someone who is comfortable in her own skin. Wild woman loves all of the things that her body can do, whether that be run or jump or dance, heal herself, heal other people, play an instrument, create art, make love, birth babies. Wild woman loves all of the things that her amazing body can do. Are you starting to think of someone in your life who might be a wild woman? I know you are. You're probably thinking about 3 or 4 people who are wild women to you. I know for me, my first kind of experience with a wild woman was a massage therapist who worked with my mother when I was in high school. And she was a healer and an artist, and she embraced life and embraced everyone around her. For you, your wild woman might be a friend, it might be a colleague, it might be a former teacher. Whoever it is, I want to hear your story right now. Drop me a comment below and share with me who the wild women are in your life. Trait number 5, wild woman embraces the cycles of life. Wild woman knows that life is not linear. As much as we want to force our life to be on this one single path, it's just not like that. As the quote goes, to everything there is a season. Wild woman embraces the cycles of her life, whether that be the moons and the seasons, or menstruation, history repeating itself, or even this life lesson that keeps coming back to make sure that you have learned it. Wild woman knows that this is totally normal and to just go with the flow of those cycles of life. Trait number 6, wild woman is creative. Women who are in touch with their wild side are creative. These women can do anything from baking, writing, dancing, singing, painting, sculpture. There's so many different things, so many different creative endeavors that these wild women have, and they know that these are sacred. Wild women don't just keep their craft to themselves. They're happy to share their craft with the world so that others can delight in their creations the same way that they do. Ultimately, wild women know that creative endeavors aren't just for stress relief and positive change in their own life. They're actually essential to our experience as human beings. Trait number 7, the wild woman knows how to grieve, rage, and rest. In today's hustle culture, pandemic, and turbulent political climate, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, we have what could be the perfect storm for all kinds of unhealthy ways to deal with these negative emotions. Wild woman knows when to take a step back. She knows what her soul needs. She knows when to scream or when to rest or collapsing on the floor crying because she just can't do it anymore. She knows when to stop being strong and that it's okay to do so. Trait number 8, above all else, wild woman trusts herself wholly. She listens to her gut when it's telling her that something is wrong for her. And she also listens to her instincts when they're telling her to go for something, even if it might be a huge risk. This may be the most challenging of all the wild women traits. Respectfully declining to entertain the expectations that everyone else has for you and only following your own path is not an easy task. Young girls grow up with expectations of good grades, being polite, being a good girl. As they grow, there are expectations to go to college, get married to a respectable man, have children, settle down. But this isn't every woman's path. And Wild Woman honors her own path, no matter how similar or different it may look from others. Hopefully you can see now that the Wild Woman might be the woman who works in the cubicle next to yours, or she might be that one girl that you knew in college. It might be yourself. For even more resources about the Wild Woman archetype, check out the 2 blog posts that I have written on Wild Simple Joy. I have linked them in the description below. Believe me, if you liked this video, you'll be so glad you checked them out. And also, be sure to check out Women Who Run with the Wolves, Myths and Stories of the Wild Woman Archetype by Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes. And she is amazing. Seriously, ladies, this book has changed my life. If you liked this video, be sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. We'll see you next time.